guys, this is actually going to be a really fun video because this is opening up the doors for us to read a whole lot of different poetry and interpret it in different ways. Not only poetry, but many other different text types. And it's really going to help us when it comes to inferring and coming to our own conclusions, as well as when it comes to interpreting the author's purpose and analysing and critiquing different types of texts in the next coming weeks. Now, I'd like to bring your attention to our heading. Our heading is literal versus figurative. Now, I'm just going to leave it there at the moment. I'm going to go into it in a second. First things first, I want us to actually have a look at the title in the black text. So, he has lost his marbles. I want you to think about that at the moment and just pause the video, write down he has lost his marbles, and underneath it, I want you to tell me what you think that means. So pause the video and do that now. Okay, so hopefully you guys have done that. You've written down he has lost his marbles and you've told me exactly what you think it means. Now, this is the fun part. He has lost his marbles can have two meanings, okay? So literally, when we say he has lost his marbles, is he's dropped them and he's lost them. So marbles, I haven't got any. I should have some as an example. Have some in your hand and you drop them and they all disappear. That is the literal meaning. So that is when something oh no, I've got that pen again. I hate that pen. This one actually happens, okay? So that's when literal meaning is effective. So he has actually lost his marbles. That means physically disappeared, okay? Figurative is completely different. So that's when language, I'm going to say language and words have altered, which means different, meanings. Okay? So it basically means words can imply different things depending on the way that they're used. Now, a lot of the sentences and a lot of the Australian sort of sentences and idioms that we use are sort of like kind of like figurative language, okay? So sometimes if we were to say something like put a shrimp on the barbie, that can mean literally putting a prawn on the barbecue, but it can also mean just crack on the barbecue, turn it on, and we'll get ready to cook. So they've got two different types of meanings, okay, depending on how we're using it in the context. Now I'm just going to show you the picture underneath that actually describes the meaning. And we've got it here. So on the left-hand side, we have our lovely man losing the marbles out of his ear. And that's the literal meaning, so it's actually happening to him. And then on the right-hand side, you might have written this down in the book, is our figurative. So our little man actually is going a little bit loopy. He's shaking his fists, his eyes are popping out of his head, his tie has come undone, and that means he's actually going a little bit crazy, because if you say he has lost his marbles, that can imply that someone has gone a little bit crazy. So that is the figurative way of interpreting that sentence. So that is just one example, and there are many examples of that sort of thing. In fact, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a lesson for you to do some sorting from literal into figurative, okay? So I hope this all makes sense. Bye, guys.